So we are continuing our poetry week, and today we're going to learn to find out what alliteration is. So I'll be looking for children who understand alliteration. So obviously that is by the end of this learning, and it's the name of a writing device. So that's a way to use words. So alliteration is the name of a way to use words. Understand alliteration is when words next to or near each other start with the same sound. Often this is the same letter, but not always. And today, can you spot alliteration in poems? So again, you could work into the seesaw screens today or into your English book. It will be your choice. Okay, if you would like to work in your English book today, remember, write the date and underline it, and write the word underneath. So to introduce alliteration, there is a BBC Teach video with a particular poet who's going to explain and demonstrate what alliteration is.
I love the challenge of a tongue twister. Many tongue twisters use alliteration, where you have lots of words that start with the same letter. Rabbits. Rare red rabbits. Rare red rabbits revel by the railway. Rare red rabbits revel with rage by the roasting railway. An easy way to create a tongue twister is by starting with your name and adding words that start with the same letter. You can even do it as a challenge, taking it in turns to see who can come up with the longest alliterative line. Joe. Jumping Joe. Jovial jumping Joe. Jovial jumping Joe juggles jam. Jovial jumping Joe juggles jam and juniper berries. Juggling Joe. Ah, you win, Joe. Alliteration can be a double challenge. It can be a challenge to find words that start with the same letter, but it can be another challenge to actually say the poems you have created. The tunnelling train tears through the tricky terrain. Alliterative poems can be great fun, but they can also be used to create a sense of foreboding, of danger, as the poem continues on a path of no return. The train trudged with terrifying terror towards the terrible tunnel. When you're playing with alliteration, remember that the poem doesn't have to be full of it. You can choose just a few alliterative phrases to add to the mood or atmosphere of the poem. I remember my tiny toy train. I'd totter it along the toy tracks, laid out in my bedroom in a perfect figure of 8, making the clunking, chunking noises, imagining the clouds of cotton steam streaming from my tiny boy's toy perfect joy. When you start playing with words, you can start having fun with different poetic devices, like onomatopoeia.
Okay, so over the next few days in our English learning, as well as it being all to do with poetry, specifically in year 2, we're going to look at alliteration. Let's recap a little bit what Joe said in that video. Alliteration is the repetition of the same sound or letter at the beginning of each or most of the words in a sentence. So can you hear and spot alliteration? Mickey Mouse. So Mickey and Mouse both start with the sound and the letter M. Same with Minnie Mouse. Both start with the sound and the letter M. Donald Duck. Both start with the D sound and the letter D. So all their names are alliterative names. The names have alliteration. So here are some others. Tongue twisters. She sells seashells down by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Yeah. Squawking seagulls swoop on sunbathers. You can see 4 of those words, there are 5 words in the sentence, 4 of them start with the S sound. Squawking seagulls swoop on sunbathers. Carrie cuddled the cute, curious cats. Here we've got the sound and the K and the letter C, but making the K sound. Carrie cuddled the cute, curious cats. Sound again. 7 snapping sharks swim in the sea. So there are 3 words with alliteration. 7 snapping and sea. Oh, sorry, 4. 7 snapping, swim and sea. But the word shark doesn't start with a sound. It starts with the letter S, but not the same sound as the other words, because obviously it starts with the sh sound. So there are 4 words there that have alliteration in that sentence. 7 snapping sharks swim in the sea. So now it's your challenge to see if you can spot the alliteration. So this poem's called Tigers. Tim, the terrifying tiger, tiptoes through tangled trees, his twitching tail thumping, his terrible teeth terrifying turtles who tumble away. Can you spot which letter or which sound the alliteration is being made with, and then which words? So I'll read it again. Tigers. Tim, the terrifying tiger, tiptoes through tangled trees, his twitching tail thumping, his terrible teeth terrifying turtles who tumble away. So you should see the T sound. Tim, the terrifying tiger, tiptoes through tangled trees, his twitching tail thumping, his terrible teeth terrifying turtles who tumble away. So the T sound is being used to create alliteration in that poem. What about this one? Soft, smooth snow falls silently from the sky. The snow is so silvery and small. Slowly you slip and slide on the snow. Can you spot which sound, so which letter, is being used to make the alliteration? Which words as well? The sound. Soft, smooth, snow falls silently from the sky. The snow is so silvery and small. Slowly you slip and slide on the snow. So those 2 poems will be on the seesaw screen. So if you can have a go yourself at spotting which words have the alliteration. So I said you can work in your English book. That will require you to obviously write out either the words you spot or even the whole poem, and then draw little lines underneath like I did to show where the alliteration is. Or you can obviously work into the seesaw screen.